Hey, welcome back to Ginatopia. Today I'm going to show you my collection that I have in January 2018. Now this was a requested video because I have added several palettes, and everybody wanted to see what I have and my impressions of them. So let's get started. So the first palette that I have, it came out of a BoxyCharm. It is the Winky Luxe Kitten palette, and you know that I am just crazy about anything kitten. And I was going to declutter this palette, but I thought I would give it one more try, and I really do like this palette, especially the shade up here and the shade down here, and those shades are called Strut and Cheshire, and you can buy this color singly, and you cannot get that one singly. So I guess if I ever pan this palette, I will have to repurchase the whole palette for those shades. And this shade right here is really pretty. It is a duochrome shade, and that shade is really pretty if you are into those types of shades. Not sure if you can see that, but that is a really pretty shade. And I do like this palette. This shade right here is really pretty too. That shade is called Romeo. So I was surprised how much I do like this palette. This palette is $25 off of the Winky Luxe website. So, yeah, I really like that palette. Was surprised how much I did like it. So, liking that palette. The next palette that I got is a new acquire for me. I was late getting on to getting this palette, but I'm really glad that I did. This is the Too Faced Just Peachy Mattes palette. They have come out with a Too Faced lights or just whites now. I'm not sure if I'm going to get that palette. I have not seen that in the stores yet, so I'm going to check it out. I looked at it online. I'm not really impressed with it online, but sometimes you have to see stuff in person before you like it. The packaging on this is absolutely beautiful, and the smell of it is so nice. I think it has more of an apricot smell than it does a peachy smell, but the shades in this is absolutely beautiful, and I am so glad that I got it. I think my favorite shade in this is Peach Sangria. Now a couple of these shades in this I think have more of a dry texture than the others, but it does blend beautifully, and I love this palette, and I'm so glad that I got it. My husband had got me a $100 gift certificate from Sephora for Christmas, so this was one of the things that I got with my $100 gift certificate. So loving that palette. If you like mattes, this is a beautiful palette. Now this palette is something I got because everybody on YouTube brags on this palette. I have not used this on my eyes yet. This is the Wet n Wild Comfort Zone palette. And everybody says, oh, you've got to have it, you've got to have it. It is a palette full of mattes, and they say this shade down here at the bottom is a shade that you've got to have. It's a duochrome shade. Let's swatch this shade, and I'll show you to it. It's a kind of a brownish, reddish shade. I'm just, haven't used it yet, but I will use this and let you know what I think of that. But everybody says you've got to have it, so I bought it. Let me get a makeup wipe out of here. Now this is probably going to be a long video, so you might want to get you your beverage of choice. I have my beverage of choice. I call it the Elixir of the Gods. It is the Lipton Diet Green Tea. I love that stuff. I could drink a gallon of it a day. It is just my absolute favorite drink. Okay, the next palette is a palette that I usually keep in my luggage, so I had to get it out of my luggage. It's just something that I like to keep packed, because if I forget to take something, it's just a good basic. It's got 12 eyeshadows and 2 blushes in it, and it doesn't have a whole lot of color payoff, but it is buildable, and like I said, it does have 2 blushes, so this is something that I do like to keep packed. This is something new that I'm probably going to gift to one of my nieces. This is a Glam Metals by Crown Pro. This came in the BoxyCharm this month. It is a beautiful palette. It is just not my cup of tea, but I know one of my nieces is going to love this. It is just so pretty, but it is not my cup of tea, but I know one of them is going to love this. Really cute palette. Here is one of my favorite palettes. This is by Tarte, the Tarteist Pro palette. I love Tarte eyeshadows. Comes with a great big huge mirror, great for travel. It comes with 12 eyeshadows that are matte. Then it comes with 4 glitter eyeshadows, and I love the Tarte formulation. I know some people don't care for it, but I personally love Tarte eyeshadows, so I love that palette. Here is a newer palette from me also. This is the Tarte Tartelette eyeshadow palette. I didn't pick this up till in December. I thought, well, I don't need that. There are so many shades like this out there that I've got shades comparable to. I don't know what I was waiting on. This eyeshadow palette is just wonderful. The shades in here are beautiful. It has got just everything. It smells heavenly. This row of plum shades in the middle are beautiful. They blend beautiful. They're like butter. Love this palette. I can't recommend this palette enough. So if you've not tried the Tarte Tartelette palette, I do highly recommend that palette also. You know, some palettes I have in boxes, some palettes I don't. I have a cat who loves to scratch on cardboard, so some of my palettes have become a victim to her. I love my baby bear, so I can't get mad at her. Here is another palette that I really like. This came in a BoxyCharm, and I think I see cat teeth marks in this palette. It is the Pure Soirées Diary. It has rose gold trim on it, which is really, really pretty. And this palette, I really was surprised how much I like it. It has 8 matte shades and 4 glitter shades. I occasionally use these glitter shades on the lid, but I really do like the matte shades. If I didn't have those glitter shades right there, I wouldn't worry about it at all, because I do like the glitter shades. I had looked at this palette in Ulta and considered buying it before I found out it was going to be in my BoxyCharm, and I really like it. I'm so glad it came in BoxyCharm, but I would have bought this had it not come in BoxyCharm. I really did like that. The next palette was given to me by my niece Sarah, and it is a Too Faced. She had this palette, and she knew how much I liked Too Faced, so she gave it to me, and it is just a really cute palette. I am not sure what it is called, but she gave it to me. She said she loved using it, but she knew how much I would like it, so she gave it to me, and it has some beautiful, beautiful colors. This color right here, it is called After Hours. It is just gorgeous, and I love that gold color. I mean, that is just gorgeous. So I really do like that palette. Thank you, Sarah. This is by BH Cosmetics. This is Carly Bible. This is her first eyeshadow palette. It has 10 colors and 4 highlighter colors, and it is beautiful. Now, I probably won't purchase the second palette since I have so many, but if I didn't have this one, I would definitely purchase the second one. This palette is gorgeous. It has some beautiful, beautiful shades. I don't really use the highlighters down here too much. If I do, I use this one right down here on the side. It has a pinky tone to it, and it is just absolutely beautiful. These shades are gorgeous, if you can see that. I mean, just beautiful if you're looking for some beautiful highlighters. But you can get such beautiful eye looks out of these, and this you can no longer purchase. So I do recommend that you go out and purchase her second one by BH Cosmetics. They are so affordable, and you get a great quality eyeshadow. So I do recommend this Carly Bible second palette. Love those palettes. Here is one. This is a limited edition. I'm not sure if you can still get this. You can check it on the Cargo website, or you may want to even check on HSN where I purchased this, and it was cheaper on HSN than it was through Cargo website. This is the Emerald City palette, and it has nothing to do with the Wizard of Oz. It has something to do with Seattle, Washington. This is a beautiful palette if you love greens and natural brown shades. This palette is beautiful. Now let me open it up and show you. Now I hope I don't blind you. Let me turn it upside down and cover the mirror up. It is beautiful. I love those green shades here, and you've got gold and browns and neutrals over here. Just a beautiful, beautiful palette. Check out this gorgeous green down here. It's called Fremont. Love, love, love that. Beautiful. High pigmentation, a beautiful palette, and I love this palette. So check out Cargo. This is beautiful. I want to get more things from Cargo and try them out. This is my only palette from Cargo, and I am not disappointed. Loving this palette. So the next palette I have is from Too Faced, and there was a big controversy about this palette last year when it was released. It's called the Natural Loves palette. They either loved it or hated it. There was basically no in-between to it. I think this is a beautiful, beautiful spring palette. It has some beautiful shades in it. My only wish is that it had more mattes for transition, but I think it is beautiful. The packaging on this is absolutely beautiful, if I can get that in focus there. This is a beautiful palette. Look at these shades. It has a great big mirror for travel, big mirror, and the shades in this are absolutely gorgeous. You can get so many different looks out of it, but the color Fairy Tale and Bunny Nose and Kitten are just gorgeous. Can you see those colors? Let me do. Just beautiful. But I do wish that it had more matte shades. I don't know if you can see that or not. Those colors are so pale, but it is beautiful, and I love that for spring. But like I said, I do wish that it did have more matte shades for transition colors. I just really don't like working with two palettes. I like just to have one palette, but you can get some beautiful looks out of this. So, but like I said, it was either love or hate. People loved it or they hated it. And I did buy this off of my friend Kendra because she really didn't care for it. Okay, the next palette is just a Z palette where I have done some depotting and put colors in this. And here is Bella. Bella has to make her debut. Say hi. Say hi. Say hi. The next palette I have is from Kat Von D. This is the shade Light in the color Sage, and I absolutely love this palette. I got this on sale off the Sephora website, and this is gorgeous. I love this color. They are calling, I guess it's the Sage color. But green is my favorite color to wear, and I love that. Gorgeous. If you can get your hands on that for $15 off of the Sephora website, get that if you like green shades, because that is gorgeous. And it has that Kat Von D formulation that is just, I think Kat Von D has one of the best eyeshadow formulas ever. I love it. Here is the box for the Chocolate Bar Matte Chip, Chocolate Chip. I'm not sure where the palette is, but there's the box for it. Somewhere the palette is roaming around. It might have fallen down behind my dresser here, so I'm going to have to go some digging and hunting and looking for that palette. Here is another BH Cosmetic. This is the Modern Neutral 28 eyeshadow palette. This was given to me by Susan Dotson, and this palette is gorgeous, and I have played around with it and got some beautiful eyeshadow looks. This color right here is stunning, as is this orange right here. These colors are beautiful. Look at those colors. Love this palette. Thank you, Susan, for that. This is the Morphe 35P. These colors are beautiful. I don't use this as often as I should. I had thought about giving this palette to Mother, but Mother would just be so overwhelmed with all these colors. But this palette is beautiful. Okay. I'm taking my temperature because I must be sick. I think I'm the only person on the planet, excuse me, Belle's baby, there we go, that does not like this palette. It's the first release of the Jaclyn Hill palette from Morphe. I don't like it. I don't know if I've not given it a fair shot. I don't know what my problem is. I look at it and I'm just like, I don't know. I'm not inspired. I just don't know. Just not inspired by that. I'm going to keep it a little bit longer. I may end up decluttering that and giving that to my niece Sarah. I'm just not inspired by that. I don't know what my problem is. I'm just not inspired. I must have a problem. I'm not sure. So now let's go to this drawer right here. These are my everyday use. So, this eyeshadow palette was given to me by my gorgeous niece Erica. Oh, This palette is so cute. Erica knows how I feel about my cats. Don't she, baby? Don't she, baby? This is the Too Faced Cat Eyes, and this palette is so gorgeous. I love this. I love Pussycat and Tiger's Eye. Those shades are beautiful. I don't know if you can see them there or not, but those shades are beautiful, and you get so many pretty looks out of that palette, so I love that. The next palette was gifted to me by my niece, Sarah. This is the Too Faced Peanut Butter and Jelly. Smells so good, and jelly and peanut butter cup, I need to clean my fingers off, are gorgeous. Love those too, and that's going nowhere. So let me do a little wipesy here. So if I decide to do any more swatches, you all can possibly see. So here we go. Here is the Too Faced Chocolate Bar Palette. Let me remove. This is an older one. It's got the names on the paper. There's the Too Faced Chocolate Bar. Here is the Too Faced Semi-Sweet. I actually like the Too Faced Semi-Sweet more than I like the chocolate bar. I use it a lot more. Here is the Too Faced Chocolate Bonbon. Now, when I first got this, I used it a whole lot more than I do now. I don't know. I just, I don't know why I don't use it much anymore, but I'm not getting rid of it. I love that. I just think the packaging is so beautiful. Now here is my Too Faced Sweet Peach, and I adore, adore, adore this palette, and it smells so good. I love that palette. Adore this palette so, so, so very much. And here is one of my favorite palettes of all time. I think it's one of the favorite palettes of 90% of YouTube. This is the Modern Renaissance palette by Anastasia. This palette is just beautiful. From the packaging to the colors. Look at those. Absolutely beautiful. And I can't say enough about that. I never thought that I would want red or hot pink eyeshadow colors, but that packaging, the shadows, that is just everything. Then here is the Master Palette by Mario, by Anastasia. This is another gorgeous eyeshadow palette. I love this. I need to get that out and use that more. I love Bronx. I love Muse. I love NYC. Love that palette. Here is a good little palette that came from Ulta last year for our birthday. This was the NYX Happy Birthday palette. And this was a nice little palette. It had some really good colors in it. Actually, this kind of reminds you of the Master Palette by Mario. It doesn't have names on it, but let me color swatch a few of these and show you. Those colors are really, really pretty. And look at the color payoff on those. That was a really nice palette. And I really like that palette, so love that. Here is one that made it through my declutter last year, and I have not used it. Haven't used it. I've got hair up my nose now that Bella was in my lap. But this is a Fictastic by City Color. And the colors in it are beautiful. But I don't know why I don't use it. I don't know. Just don't use it. Here is one. This is the Lorac Pro To Go palette. And this palette is a really nice palette. Let me show you. Open this up and show it to you. It's perfect for travel. Let's see. Like I said, some stuff's in boxes, some stuff's not. Here's what it looks like. You open it up. On one side you have 2 blushes and a bronzer. On the other side you have 5 eyeshadows, and, well, actually 6 eyeshadows, but this one right here is pretty enough to be used as a highlighter. So, it's really nice. Really nice. And Lorac has a really, really good eyeshadow formula. That is actually my only Lorac palette. There is the Lorac 3 I'm thinking about buying. And I'd like to have the Lorac Unzip Gold. I like it too. I am missing my Makeup Revolution, which is a dupe for the Kat Von D Shade and Like. It, again, might be behind here because I had a bunch of stuff fall over there the other evening and I hadn't got it out yet. But this is the Kat Von D Shade and Light, and this eyeshadow palette is just everything. I love this eyeshadow palette. It is just all mattes. It's broken up into 4 quads, and it is just, you can get so many great looks out of this. This shade Lazarus right here, I tell you, that is one of my favorite shades ever. I can just use that all over my lid and up into the crease, and if I'm just doing a 5-minute face, that is all I use, and it's a pretty look. I love it. This eyeshadow palette, I tell you, I think if I could only get one eyeshadow palette sometimes, this might be it. I don't know, it's hard to break it down and just say one. But this eyeshadow palette right here is just such a good basic eyeshadow palette. It's hard to say. It's so hard to say. But for somebody who's just a beginner and learning to do eyeshadow, I tell you, this is such a good basic eyeshadow palette. Here is another one of my favorite eyeshadow palettes. Mother bought me this eyeshadow palette, and it was the first high-dollar eyeshadow palette I ever had. It is It Cosmetics Naturally Pretty, and this is definitely one of my favorites. It has some of the most beautiful colors that you have ever seen in your life, and you can double them by using this transition color right here, and it's a pearlized color, and you can put it over top of any of these shades right here, and it gives them a pearlized look, so it actually doubles your colors. And I love this. Anytime I'm in a hurry and want a fast, colorful look, I grab this palette right here because it basically blends itself. And if you're not into strong colors, you just like a soft, natural, colorful look, this right here is a good palette to have. Like I said, if you're looking to buy an eyeshadow palette for somebody who's younger, who's just getting started into makeup, or if you're older and you don't like the bold colors, this palette is for you, because this palette is just perfect. It gives you just a nice, subtle wash of color. This is a perfect palette for you if you're not into bright, bold colors. Perfect. And I liked this palette so much that I went out and bought the sister palette to it, which is the Naturally Pretty Romantics from It Cosmetics, and it's got the velvety texture to it also. And you can get these at, you can get these at Ulta Beauty or off of QVC. And look at these colors. Aren't they beautiful? This is a beautiful springtime palette also. This Tranquility and Enchanting are gorgeous. Look at those colors. Aren't they beautiful? That Tranquility is just a beautiful soft green shade. Just beautiful, beautiful palette. And again, it does have the transforming pearl right there too, that you can put over the shades and make them pearlized. See what it did? Just beautiful. Love that palette too. I just think it is just the perfect springtime palette. Love that palette. Put my little plastic piece back over it. Well, I'm sorry if this video is taking forever. I do apologize. Okay, the next palette was sent to me because the girl who sent it to me asked me not to say her name, but she said she could not stand for me not to have her favorite palette in my collection, and it is the Urban Decay Naked palette. And I didn't think I wanted this palette, but this is what I have on my eyes today, and this is a beautiful palette. I can't believe I didn't have this palette. There's some cat hair. I can't believe that I hadn't bought this palette, but it is a beautiful palette, so I want to thank her for this. So thank you very much. I can't say your name because you asked me not to, but thank you so much. It's a beautiful palette. Thank you. The next Urban Decay palette that I have is the Urban Decay Naked Heat. Flinging it out. The Urban Decay Naked Heat palette. And let me tell you, this palette is gorgeous. Let me show you some colors in here. The Infugo and the He Devil are gorgeous. Look at those colors. Absolutely beautiful. If you're looking for a warm shadow palette and you love the orangey shades, I tell you, this palette will give you some of the prettiest looks. Now, you don't get a huge variety of looks because the color shades are so similar, but let me tell you, you get beautiful warm eyes. Love that. Love it, love it, love it. I don't have the the original palette for this. This is the Bad Habit Royal Love palette, and this is the dupe for the Anastasia Subculture palette. And I didn't buy it. I swatched that palette 20 times at least at the Sephora and Ulta Beauty. And I looked and looked and looked at it, but I just couldn't see spending $42 on it. And I'm glad I didn't, because as much as I love that palette, it does have a lot of kick up. People go through that palette so fast. And after buying this palette, I realized that these color shades, the ones I really wanted it for, just do not suit my skin tone. But I still like it, and I'm glad I bought this palette for $10 off of shophush.com, and I will link a discount code for 10% off down below for ShopHush. This color palette, or this palette, matches it. It's a really good dupe for it. I've seen other people who did swatch videos and stuff on it, so it's a really good dupe for it. This shade right here and this shade right here, as much as I like them, they don't complement my skin tone, but I'm still going to wear them. But if you're looking for a good dupe video, or a good dupe palette for the Modern Renaissance, for the Subculture palette, and you don't want to spend $42, this palette right here is a really good dupe. Let me show you some color swatches. Here is what they call Free Love, and their Rebel. Let me show you. Look at that. There's the mustard shade. There's that. I wore this eyeshadow look the other day. It was a beautiful eyeshadow look. Like I said, it really doesn't suit my skin tone, but I'm still going to rock it. I don't care. I'm going to rock it like it's $19.99. But I will link a discount code down below. Yep. I'm an 80s girl, and I love $19.99. Here is a palette by Ulta Beauty. This is the Matte Neutrals. It's got 12 eyeshadow colors. And this palette costs $20. And I tell you, it does have some really nice shades. And I've got some big dips in several of these. And I do like this palette. I love Courtney. I love Renee. I love Jamie. Ashley. I tell you, I think you can get some really pretty looks out of this palette. So if you're looking for a pretty eyeshadow palette and you don't want to break the bank, check out Ulta Beauty's palettes. The next eyeshadow palette, some people liked it, some people didn't. I happen to love it. It is the dupe for the Naked 3. It is the Buff Collection by Pure Cosmetics. I know some people got this in a BoxyCharm. I bought this myself. I loved it. I love the rose gold shades. I loved it. I loved it so much I bought two and gave one as a gift. Here is one that I wouldn't waste my money on again. This is W7 in the Night, the smoky shades. I just didn't get any color payoff on that. Here's another one that was a waste of $5. We're not even going to discuss it. This is the Golden Nudes by Style Essentials. And here is one that I've not tried yet. It is by Sugar Cosmetics. This is the Sweet Enchantress. I have not tried this one yet, but I just wanted to try this brand. And the colors look really pretty. So I've not tried that one yet. So, goodness, can't get it in the box. I'll get it in the box in a few minutes. So now let's go to the last of the eyeshadow palettes, and it's in this little drawer right here. Okay, so the last of the eyeshadow palettes is the Tarte Tease. I've not even taken this one out of the box, but I love Tarte eyeshadows. And I need to either give this one to somebody or use it. But the shadows in that are beautiful, and I love Tarte eyeshadows. The next one is a by Wet n Wild. It is just something that I use at Halloween. It's glittered. I need to check and make sure that's still okay. Here's an LA Colors. It's in green, and that's actually a beautiful green. I love that single. Here is a Duo by Signature Club A. That's actually very pretty. Here is a Sephora. This is called Snakeskin Dress, and this is actually very pretty. Here is a single by Wet n Wild. This is Cream Brulee. This is one of my favorite. Here is an Almay Trio. This is, can't see the name on that one, but anyway. Here is Luna. I just got this in one of my boxes. I'm not sure what this one is called. This is called Juliet. Here is LA Colors. This is Iris. And actually, for $1, these are quite pretty. Here is one by LA Colors. This one is called Orchid. And those are pretty. Here are 3 that I'm going to depot and put in my Z palette. There's that one. Here is this one. And here is this one. Here is one from Wet n Wild. This is called Art in the Streets. This is the only colorful eyeshadow palette that I've got, and I have not tried this yet. But it is the only colorful eyeshadow palette that I have. Next, I have another glitter eyeshadow palette that I use at Halloween by Claire's. Here is an Ulta Beauty eyeshadow palette that I've got. Here is a Lancome eyeshadow palette. It is called Ombre Effects Sensations. It's beautiful. Here is, this is Lancome. I don't see a name on it right off, but it's the only one of these colors that I've got. It's grays and blacks. Here is a beauty control, and I gave the purple one that I had to Mom. And here is, this one is called Uptown Girl. Not a lot of color payoff on that. Here is a Milani Gold Crystal Eyes. I used that at Halloween also. Here is just a gold glitter. You have to use that with glitter glue. Here is Avon. This one is in called Emerald Cut, and this is beautiful. It's got peaches and greens. Here is another Avon. This is called Gilded Metallics, and this is greens, and I love this. Here is an Elf in browns. Here is another LA Colors. This is pinks and grays, and I don't have anything in those colors, so I'm keeping that. I love that. Here is an LA Colors in greens. This is called Lucky. And I don't have anything in these shades. I'm almost through. I guess you're glad. Here is another by Kat Von D that is one of my favorites. This is in the plums. And I love that. These shades are beautiful. Let me find a place where I can swatch and show you. Those shades are beautiful, if you can see them. Well, there you go. Beautiful. Absolutely a stunning palette. Here is one of my favorite eyeshadow palettes, especially to travel with. This is Urban Decay Naked Basics 2. And when I went to Canada last year, I took this with me. Love, love, love that palette. Here is a Revlon Photo Eye Art. It's got a gold glitter eyeliner on one side. I don't know if you can see that. Yeah, there you go. And on the other side, it has a really good green eyeshadow. So I really like that. It's only one of those I've got. I like to get some more of those. And I'm really usually not big into creams, but I really did like that. And last but not least is the Photo Matte Eyeshadow Palette. And no matter how hard I try, I just cannot get into that eyeshadow palette. So that is all of my eyeshadows. I hope you like this video. Be sure to subscribe. Be sure to click the little bell so you get notified every time I upload a video. And share